Hello, this is a Kemble Oxford 110 centimeters tall, made in 1998. It's in practically pristine condition, very few marks on it and no fading. Sometimes you get fading when this has been down up for a long time, and it clearly hasn't been. It hasn't been used a huge amount, and you can see also by the felt here that there's order 100%. A little bit of dust there, so obviously we're going to clean the piano up. It's only just arrived. Very low pedals and plenty of legroom. That's something I want to feature because legroom is so important on pianos. There's a huge variety of Kemble pianos in the UK, some of them very small and not the sort of piano that we buy and sell, but this particular model, Kemble Oxford, 65.5 centimetres, that's much more legroom than most pianos. We're particularly trying to source pianos with a lot of legroom because there's so many tall people around. I'm 5'10" and a half, and my legs fit under a 62 centimetre piano, perhaps 61 and a half. And grand pianos tend to be 61 and a half, 62. Most uprights like Yamaha U1 and U3 are 62 at the most. So this is really a lot more, 65.5 as you can see. I don't know if you can see clearly on here. I'm trying to show it, and just me here. So, but you can see my leg fits very well under there. There's plenty of space, and we do get a lot of tall people that come just because they need pianos with a lot of legroom. There's my shoe. You can see 5.5 centimeters from the floor is the pedal, and that's lower than average. 7 is kind of like normal for a modern piano, so that's really useful. So if the pedal's too high, then if you've got low, if you can see, as I lift my foot up, my knee's going up as well, so the pedal needs to be low as well. So we're particularly trying to source pianos with a lot of legroom. This is a tall Welmar, 118, I think, centimeters tall, the piano. And you can see here the legroom is 65, just above. So, but the pedals are quite high, so that's 7 centimeters high. So if you watch my leg as I get on top of the pedal, I need a bit more room. Therefore, you can see it goes up by a centimeter or two. So this is a crucial issue, I think, for tall people. This is a Sauter high-quality German piano. German pianos tend to have more legroom, and you can see there it's 63 centimeters legroom on this one, but the pedals are low, 5.5. So that's quite a lot of legroom again. But so if I put my foot on the pedal, my knee's not really going up at all. And this is a 1923 Steinway, and if you have a look at the legroom on this one, we can see it's 65 again, but the pedals are quite high. They're actually 8 centimeters from the floor. They're quite far back, so actually that seems to make a difference. But you can see my knee going up again there, you see, although the pedal's further back, and in actual fact it's not quite so bad having the higher pedals. And this is a Yamaha U3 in 1970s piano, and you can see this is 61 and a half centimeters, and my leg is just about fitting underneath. And the pedals are reasonably low, but you can see as I put my foot on the pedal, it then starts to jam. Of course, a lot of people just splay their legs like that. But it's just important to be aware. It's obviously a good piano, this one. Yamaha U3 is very popular pianos. But for tall people, it's a little bit cramped. This is a Furic 122, again, a really excellent piano, but 62 and a half, slightly better than the Yamaha. Sorry if I'm not very in focus. There we are. And the pedals, again, about 6 centimeters. So, again, if I put my foot on the pedal, there's just about enough room for my legs there. Here's another German piano, Grotrian Steinweg 1971, wonderful tone. And there we are, a lot of legroom. So this is just a little bit of proof that the German pianos tend to have more legroom. I think this one is 65. Sorry if you can't see that very well. Pedal height, I think that's a bit on the high side. So that's 8 centimeters. So if you watch my leg again, it goes up a bit when I put my foot on the pedal. So not quite so much legroom as you'd want if you're really tall. So going back to the Kemble, it really is in pristine condition. Pianos don't change that much. It's 1998. They just don't change over the years. The bass arguably gets slightly less bright, but really very little lost in the brightness on the bass. I mean fullness rather than brightness. There's a beautifully made piano. As I say, there's a huge range of different Kemble pianos in the UK. Some of them are very small, like the Kemble Minx. I don't really recommend for learning on, but this is just ideal. So it's the model, one of the Kemble models we do get. I think it might be the most prolific make in the UK, alongside Chapel, Patson, Challen. If you look at the hammers here, hammerware, you can see just none or hardly any. Let's say an hour's playing for a day for a year, and that really hasn't affected it. No real regulation to do. The key weighting is slightly, well, it's actually extremely good, as we'll have a look in a minute. I've measured some of them. So really a wonderful instrument. So looking at the worksheet, it's really perfect condition. It was already at pitch before it came in, so we didn't have to pitch raise, and we haven't tuned it since it's been here. Obviously tune it when it goes out. Just fine tuning and a bit of voicing maybe. There's some details put on by my colleague here. 65.5 legroom, that is exceptional with low pedals. The other thing I want to draw attention to is the key weighting is excellent already, and doesn't really lead keys lubricating. If you lift them up, you can, perhaps very slightly, but that one is slightly slower, so that's something we'll pay attention to. But really, that does reduce the key weight very often. That's one of the main ways of doing it. But here we have 50 grams down weight, which is perfect for middle C, and 33 up weight. That's fine as well. So right the way across there, you can see pretty consistent. Not really much need to do much there at all. So that's a Kemble Oxford, 110 centimeters tall, made in, I think, actually 1997. I think I said 1998, but it's 1997. In the 1990s, Kemble was also making Yamahas, and a lot of the Yamahas in the UK, which are suffixed by the letter N, are ones that are made in Milton Keynes, where this was made. And they made a lot of pianos. They're one of the main piano makers. Older Kembles, a lot of Kembles, much earlier Kembles, the Kemble Minx, for instance, we don't try and source. We think the action's not, it's a drop action, and it's not really ideal for learning a piano on. The other Kemble we try to source is a very compact Kemble, which is like a modern piano, not the drop action piano, like a normal piano, but very small. It's one of the best small pianos, 131 centimeters wide. This is more standard size piano, and really excellent, exquisite touch as well. So I can highly recommend them. And we source them particularly for the legroom. It's such an important thing if you're tall to think about the legroom, really, because you don't want to have your legs squashed all the time. I tried to show you the legroom on different pianos. There are others that we source as well, and we particularly are. There's one of the specialities that we have is trying to source for pianos that have a lot of legroom. That's a beautiful clear tone. Somebody asked me, is the tone bright? Well, it's relatively bright compared to a lot of the pianos we have in stock, but we never select really bright pianos. Pianos made in Indonesia, pianos made in Korea tend to be bright, a lot brighter than this. If you want the hammers mellowed, we can obviously do that. But I think it's beautiful. Extremely stable. We haven't tuned this piano since it came in. It's slightly out of tune, but we'll obviously fine tune it and voice it before it goes out. If you're interested in the pianos, please do write to info@robertspianos.com. Thank you very much for listening.